Alright, here we go. I decided to play some royalty-free Spotify music to be able to have something to listen to while I'm working. Here it is. Copyright free. 5 hours. Okay. So, I'm only really working on this now while I'm streaming because it's motivating to actually get it done if I am doing something else while doing it. Though I should be working today, even though it's the day after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to the nobody, the 0 followers, the 0 people watching. Okay, so again, I came to the conclusion again that basically I'm spending too long on this, so I want to, I'll probably end off this section, the fireman gets a load of coal, after I do one more thing. All I'm going to have him do is, I want him to interact with the scene a bit more, so I think all I'm going to have him do is lift the a piece of the coal off of the pile here. Oh, I gotta rename this stream because it's actually part 4. Save. I don't even know if this is working properly today. That's fine. Okay, here we go. So I think at this point, his hand would come up to about here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to, first of all, just make this the only panel here. I'm going to duplicate this. We'll just close that one. Just so that we're not working off the same copy. Go like this. And now we're going to mess with the hand here. And this I think we'll just use placeholder or hold keyframes. But Control F, type in path. And if you want, you can name all of these just so that you know what everything is. This is the thumb, forefinger, and then call this the hand. This is the, look at that, wrong order, but this is going to be finger 2 and then finger 3. It's just easier to remember than pinky and middle finger, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to just keyframe all of these, and I'm going to right click and I'm just going to toggle hold keyframes. And I'm just going to, adjust this so that the hand looks like it could be picking up this piece of coal right there, that little square. So what I will do is I'll just start messing around with some of these paths. You know, there's not an exact science to this, so you know, we're just gonna play around with things and see what we come up with. Actually, you know, the hand at this point, it doesn't really look like it's picking it up. So I think, you know what, these might actually just be behind this finger. You could also just turn them off. But they would be a lot more behind like that. Further in there. Oh my god. Okay. Okie dokie. It doesn't have to be perfect. because it's only going to be on there for about a frame. But now what we can do is, let's find that little piece. And let's see, where is that piece? Bouncy coal. This is why we name our layers. This is really why. We're going to duplicate that. Control-Shift-D to split. And even though there's one named Bouncy Coal right there, just change this to coal in hand. And actually, I'm gonna. What was it called before? I just wanna. There we go. So it was Bouncy Coal 1. So I'm just gonna call it Bouncy Coal 1 coal in hand, so we know what it's becoming. And then I'm actually going to attach it. I'm going to attach it to the back arm wrist, because now he's grabbing it. And this may look terrible. I don't have any viewers, but it says average view duration is 6 minutes. So is it because I'm watching it? I don't know. Who cares? Nobody's watching this anyway. Oh, I'm also going to turn this on. Turn this off. Oh yeah, that looks awful. That's terrible. Boom. So what do we do about this? Because that looks real bad. First of all, I don't like the way that's turning. Is the rotation being controlled by, sorry. So the rotation is actually being controlled by, what is the rotation of this? Oh, is it the hand itself? I think it might actually be the hand itself. Oh, I see. So we might want to just start from scratch here on the rotation. And maybe it would actually be here for another frame. We can try that, see how that looks. Also, let's see. Oh, we got one of these going. There we go. This is gonna look bad for a while, unfortunately, but that's okay. So, one thing I think we can do here at the split of this coal is, rather than attach it to the wrist, we actually just attach it directly to the hand. Yeah, that looks better immediately. But let's see how it looks when it plays quickly. So fast. I think instead of it coming down so quickly, let's just delete these keyframes. Just start this fresh. Also, where the heck did that coal go? Oh, there it is. We just delete the keyframes off of that. Also, I think final step here is going to be him sort of looking at it. I think also I want his hand to be fully... I think there needs to be a little bit of a preliminary I don't know, let's watch this. For some reason that call goes missing. So I think, let's see, take this hand. I think we can get it. Where's that piece of coal?
I guess he's bled a lot.
Oh, because it's behind. So let's make it here. Okay, now let's watch it again. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more of an anticipation, like an anticipation hold. Also, I wanted to be looking at it more like, you know, elbow all the way down. So there's gonna have to be some kind of switch from FK to IK. So I think first of all, when the hand comes up, I think the fingers need to, I'll have this cut a bit earlier, maybe right there. That's perfect. So now I'll have the fingers keyframe all of these. And I'm going to open up the hand so that it looks like it's, you know, comes up and he looks like he's about to grab it. I wonder if you can name these paths. No, I can't. Okay, doesn't really matter. So first of all, everything would be sort of open like this. Just messing around, seeing what things look like. They may look like trash, but yeah, that's not very good. We might have to do some kind of let's see, how would this look? You say like that instead. This is where we get into a little bit of frame by frame. Oops. Gonna drag these one over. I think I'll have this is where it starts to open up a bit more. And I'll have the thumb come out. I'll have these guys. And then this one over here. Roll. Yeah, there we go. You can have it come out like this. Oh, just a second. Hello. Hey, I'm streaming. It's okay, nobody watches my streams anyway. Yeah. What's up? Wait, let me put you in my other ear 1 second. Because I can't really hear you. 1 sec. Okay, tell me. Yeah. Do they mean remote people? Why is Peyton on it? Oh, okay. Yeah, also just, like, why are we inviting him? I don't understand. Hmm.
Oh, it's late.
Yeah. Jesus. It sounds like something that's super easy is being made very complicated.
Want to come back?
Good. Good. I think that. Yeah. I think that's smart. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Give a thing and just kind of be like, hey, this is like being made into something so much more complicated than it needs to be. She's kind of a significant person, to be honest. Mm. How does she? How does she expect you? How does she expect you to find the emails? Are they even organized? So it sounds like they're not really keeping track of, like they're not keeping track of that information. Like they probably don't even realize that it's something that they like should be keeping track of. Yeah, maybe because he makes the emails. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. So where is it then if you moved it? Jesus Christ. It's annoying. Yeah, I don't really understand. Well, I'm sorry you're going through that. Nice. Alright, my love. I'll see you soon. Alright, bye. Okie doke. Alright. What do we do from here, huh?
I hardly know how.
We were just being too selfish.
The next line here is... The fireman gets a little coal, food, and either shovels it into the engine, your body's metabolism, or shovels it into the tender, your fat reserves. So shovels it into the engine is an action we can do, do a shoveling action. I think it'd be cool to do a scene change by having him looking over to the right, and maybe when it does that, it's swiped to the right. So let's see. Let's just get an idea of the timing here. Fireman gets a little cold. And then I think at this point, would look to the right. So how do we do that?
You just gotta realize that everybody's gonna be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Take a look at our layers here. I think we'll just keyframe everything. Actually, before we do that, let's change the head in comp 12. Oops. Crap. I don't know what I did. Oh, I clicked save as. Just a sec. Back to this.
New ones every day.
We were riding in the cemetery.
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
goodness, how we'd like to know why the weather altered so.
Supposing that creature, the one you killed, was capable of taking ideas from other people's brains, transferring its own. You mean it sucked other people's brains, absorbed through the orb?
You only wrote this for the money, didn't you?
I could.
For 20 years.
It's basically just animating shape layers and then exporting to Lottie. It's not a... Like, Lottie itself isn't a very complicated thing. I believe that, like, all you have to do is animate with shape layers and not use any effects. And then, like, there's a button with Lottie that just says, like, export to Lottie, and then that's it. It's, like, pretty simple. Why isn't this working? This is weird. How to sell Lottie animation is another thing, because the only people who are really going to use it are tech companies. So you kind of have to get your foot in the door at a tech company. And in order to do that, it's sort of just the same way as getting clients any other way. You have to sort of spend the time, sorry, 1 second, getting those clients. Sorry, I can't be more help on that. I mean, getting clients is, you know, it's the constant challenge, but the way to get them is by reaching out to people constantly, and that's still how I get my clients to this day. I just email people directly. I just sold a project to a client for $35,000, and it's a tech company. And all I did, I emailed the owner of the company. It's a NetSuite reseller, and I just emailed him, and he ended up buying one, and then liked it so much he bought $32,000 worth. And the way to do that is you literally just reach out to people. Like, go to websites, go to LinkedIn, message, email, whatever you can do to get your foot in the door at these places. This looks weird. But yeah, there's no really secret to it. It's just a matter of getting your name out there and reaching out to... I feel like there's a lot of power in reaching out to people directly. You're welcome. See how I can...
All through the years, you'll remember that a man went to the gallows because she was too selfish to wait 2 hours.
A tutorial series on an actual project that a client would give. I mean, I was thinking about that actually, streaming at least, going through a project on how a project comes together. I mean, I can even show you right now, because I'm not really doing anything. But basically, I mean, the way it works when a client reaches out to you and they want an animation is you first have to find out like a lot about their company, about the style of animation that they want. What I do, like the very first thing that I do is I go to Vimeo and I look at, I go through my likes. You can see I have 883 likes, and I find an animation style that I think would work really well for their business. So that's the very first thing that I do. And then it's just a matter of getting a script together. 150 words is about 1 minute of animation, 150 words of voiceover. So to give you an example of what a project would look like start to finish, if my computer will load fast enough here, I'll show you. Just a sec. I'm going to let that. Here we go. I just finished up a project for a client, and this is typically how a project will go. So I get a project brief where essentially they tell me exactly what they want. Like I ask, like, okay, you want an explainer video? Okay, so what do you want the script to say? And sometimes I write the script. In this case, they wrote the script, so they sent me this. You can see it's about 314 words, which is about 2 minutes. And I have been doing this a long time, so I messed around with it until I felt like this was suitable for animation. So you have to have watched a lot of animation and got an idea of script writing and storytelling, and you can also just Google like how to write a script for animation. There's a lot of resources out there. But once I felt like this script was something I could actually animate, the very next thing that I did was I took the script and I began drawing up a storyboard. And I'll show you what that looks like. And let's see. So this is what the storyboard looks like. Literally just drawn pictures. So what I do when I'm doing a storyboard is I will take the script and we take the first line. Why is running a dental practice so stressful? And I go, okay, well, what would that look like? And we got a dentist. It's not a very good drawing, but we got a dentist. Maybe he's at his desk. Maybe it says the income is going down. And I write, start with papers flying away, camera dollies back, and we see a dentist looking upset over piles of paper. So I sort of draw out a rough sketch of what I'm picturing, not really thinking about the style. And then right under it, what I'm imagining is happening. And I'll just do this for each of the lines and each of the shots. And by doing this, I get a pretty good idea of what I think the animation is going to look like. Before I even illustrate anything, I'll go over all of this with the client, and generally, they have a pretty good idea of what the animation is going to look like once you've shown them, even a rough storyboard like this. And I'm not an amazing artist or anything, but I actually broke this up into two groups. So this is sort of the end of the video. See what that looks like. And I actually, for this project, I hired an illustrator to help out on it because I don't have time to do a lot of, I'm not a very good illustrator for one thing, and I don't have a lot of time. Also, like if there's a particular style, then, and I don't know how to draw it, then I would rather hire an illustrator to work on it for me. And after that, after, you know, I've got a good idea of the storyboard, I've gone over it with the client, I'll put together a mood board. And a mood board is basically just this actually isn't the proper mood board, but what a mood board is it's just a collection of screenshots from, you know, other works, other animations. I think actually I might have combined the mood board into the Photoshop file. So I'll show you what I found. Here it is. So I collected a bunch of these images for the client, and I said, like, okay, good, like I like these characters up here. I like the, you know, blue tones of this video here. I like what the characters look like here. I like the simple geometric designs and things like that. So, you know, I'm collecting all this information in order to give an idea to the client what I'm picturing it's all going to look like. I also collect this information for the illustrator so that when I go over what I need from the illustrator, he has a style to work on. He can watch these videos as well, and using this mood board as well as the thumbnails that I've drawn, he can draw out, you know, what the video is going to look like, and I'll show you what that looks like. So, you know, once that's the project brief. The brief is the beginning where they tell you exactly what they want, and then going over exactly what they want, and, you know, you having a general idea of what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. A script is written, a storyboard is written. It goes to an illustrator, or you can illustrate it yourself. And what that would look like is, this is what the illustrator initially sent me. He sent me a PDF document with the drawings. So he did a really good job of getting generally the style of the you know, animation, I think. Some of the sections were actually just video that I edited in, so, and also I wanted to design some of the sections, so I told him to leave certain parts out. But, you know, he sends over this, he sent over an Illustrator file. No, let's see, where's the Illustrator file? From Hub. Let's see, open this with, right, so he sent this over. This is the Illustrator file that has all of the assets that I would need. In here is everything, you know, like if I go into the layers, everything is drawn out. So I was able to bring this into After Effects and then animate it. Oh, of course, you know, after you get the script, you get a voiceover read. You know, you may have to go through a few listens or a few reads, get an audition. I use a website called thevoicerealm.com, and they will record a voiceover for, I think it's like 150 words or $150 for a minute. And that would lead to, oh yeah, just by the way, I charged $8,200 for this animation. So it was a 2-minute animation. Technically, it was only about 1 minute and 20 seconds of animation because I think there was a 40-second period where I just edited video together. But 200 of those dollars went to voiceover. Whoops. I spent $1,500 on the illustration, so I paid the illustrator $1,500. That was agreed upon price, and he was pretty happy with that. He lives in Morocco, and he did a really good job. And then I actually hired an animator to do this project for me because I didn't have time, but unfortunately I didn't like the work that he did. I didn't think the standard wasn't what I would feel comfortable giving my client for that price. No, not $82,000, $8,200. So it was $8,200. So $8,200. It's about $4,000 per minute of animation. $4,000 per minute of animation. If it was $82,000, I would be sad. That would be amazing. But no. 8,200. So $8,200. Sorry for that. And then let's see. I can show you what the project file looks like. So here you can see I have each folder broken up into each section. So it's like 00 project brief and scripts, illustration, storyboard, animatic. Oh yeah, the animatic is when I would take the, I want to get the timing right. So I take the illustrations that my illustrator did and I bring it into Premiere and I lay it out over the audio. So I can even show you what that looks like. Let me just bring it up. So the animatic helps with the timing. I would then bring the animatic into After Effects and use that as my audio source. And here's what the animatic would look like. Let's see. Here it is. So I'll just play it for you.
Why is running a dental practice so stressful? Ultimately, the stress and problems come from not knowing. The schedule is a mess. How do I fix it? My front desk staff just quit. What the heck am I going to do? We can barely cover payroll this month. Why is there no profit? You know how.
So that's basically what an animatic is. It's just a series of images. There's no real animation, but you get, as the animator, a really good idea of the timing. And let me just save this. But I'll show you the After Effects project file as well. You can see how many iterations I go through. I continually save and make a new copy over and over and over. Let's see, November 10th is the last one. Open that up. I might have to adjust the way it's set up here. Wow, I guess people are interested in learning how an animation is done. I have 2 viewers now. But here, I'll show you how this project looks. Just give it a second to load. Oh, you're watching with 2 accounts. Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Let's see. So let me just do my one screen workspace for this. I have 3 screens, so. Okay, so I'll just go over what this project file actually is. I'll just delete. So I have my main composition at the top here. The main composition is where everything is going to be held. So I'll bring the audio into a main composition, and then I will animate within that main composition, but I'll be continually, once I finish a scene, I will pre-compose that scene and it'll go into this folder, scenes and pre-comps, and you can see I have scene 01, 02, 03, you know, all the way to scene 20 plus 21. Some scenes I combine together, but this is what the final composition looks like. So right here I have the animatic going, so I'll just solo that. And if I scroll through, this is what I use to base the timing on, right? So this is, the animatic is really valuable to me as the animator because I know exactly how long I need to hold on a scene for, and that's, you know, extremely useful. But if I just turn the animatic off and now we go to the actual animation, you can see, like, starting with scene 101, so that means it's scene 1 version 1, and it goes for about 3 seconds. And if I go into that composition, I've taken the art, I rigged up the character, I actually barely even rigged up the character, but this is what this scene looks like. I'll just play it for you. Also, I'm animating in 4K, so, you know, forgive me if it takes a second to load. I think also the final piece, I had it be at 12 frames a second. So at the end, instead of it actually exporting at 12 frames a second, I just used a posterized time effect. But, you know, there's that shot. I do a match cut by quickly zooming in. And then we cut to scene 2. And scene 2 to scene 3. You know, I actually animated this in about, like, once I got all the illustrations back, I animated it in about 5 days. I gave it to an illustrator who spent, I think, a week or 2 on it, and he, like I said, I didn't think that the quality or the style was, you know, up to what I would want to give my client, so I decided to do all of it myself from scratch, and I spent about 5 days on it. I wish I had more time to spend on it because I would have put in a lot more detail into the character animation, but whatever. But the illustration, I think total time was maybe about 4 to 6 weeks for this project. Had I not given it to an illustrator to spend 2 weeks on, it would have been about 4 weeks, I guess. I think it was 6 weeks total. So for this scene, what I did was I used a combination of After Effects and Cinema 4D, so that's how I created the calendar back there, or the schedule or whatever. And then also some of these rotating orbs and some of the rotating bits was Cinema 4D, and I exported an image sequence. And then to do a easy scene change, I just made this panel. I actually used Cinema 4D for this, funnily enough. Swipes over, and then I make it seem like this is the same piece, and then this animates in. And then I just started pushing a camera through 3D space in After Effects. You know, just doing match cuts because, you know, I didn't have a lot of time. The way I did the pen in this scene, here's the hand drawing. I actually used, let's see, where is the hand? Hand base. I used, I deleted the reference. Well, what I did here was I actually found a stock image. That's cool. UI design is very useful. I won't go too into detail on how I did certain things because, you know, I don't want to, you know, go over anybody's head. But, you know, I like to do scene changes by having one element from, oh, okay, gotcha. You know a little bit about animation, cool. I like to do scene changes by using either match cuts or using an element from the previous scene to go into the new scene. So, like here, I use these orbs, you know, just kind of animating up to make it, you know, seem like they're within the same scene. And then I just did a cut in, and he takes off his mask. You can even see in here I gave myself the instruction to just cut here. Zooms in, orbs go up again, and then we have some text on the screen. Use a line to lead the eye through the next section. I think this was a combination of several scenes. Yeah, it was scene 9 to 11. So it changes to that. Match cut. See, I didn't even animate the characters here, but funnily enough, the client didn't care. You can tell a lot of story. You can do a lot of storytelling without needing to go too detailed into the character animation. So that's a nice little, you know, if you do good storytelling, then the character animation honestly is secondary. You don't need to do it, so I didn't. I just put them in 3D space a little bit, so there was a bit of a parallax effect. But you know, I had the camera and the icons and stuff continue to tell the story. I do logo animation, but not like, you know, like I know there are companies who will buy logo animation from people, but I don't generally sell it because I like to sell bigger projects. If like a logo animation, you can sell it. Like somebody doesn't want to necessarily spend, you know, thousands of dollars on a logo animation, and I would rather sell a project for thousands of dollars that may take me a bit longer to do, but ultimately make more money than, you know, sell a logo animation and put a lot of time into it. And, you know, I could have used that time working on an explainer video. Because I may spend, you know, if I get a logo animation project and it's like, cool, I'm going to spend 3 days on this, I could sell an animation package to a company that I spend, you know, 3, 4, or 5 days on and make, you know, 10 grand. Nobody's paying 10 grand for a logo animation unless they're a massive company and you're a very well-known animator. But a lot of companies will spend thousands of dollars on explainer videos and stuff like that because they see a lot more value in something that explains their product or service than just a logo animation. However, that being said, if you get really good at doing logo animations and you can knock one out really fast, you could sell it on Fiverr, and I know that there's a lot of very successful Fiverr animators who all they do is logo animations. I just, you know, for me personally, I find that I can make a lot more money on an explainer video. I'm going to go back to this project, and I'm not going to save that. Close this. But yeah, after finishing an animation, I mean, if you've done a good job on the storyboard, if you've done a good job, you know, on the illustrations and showing them to the client, they will know exactly what they're going to get at the end, and they're not going to have a whole bunch of edits. So I think I had like 2 very minor edits to that last animation, and once I was done animating, it was all done. So I hope that answers some of your questions. I mean, just to give another, you know, a reason why I would rather sell, you know, bigger projects is because I just actually finished a project for a client doing this one, and I sold it for $3,500. So that's $3,500, not $35,000. It's $3,500. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So this project was for a tech company. They are a NetSuite reseller. So NetSuite is a, I guess, program or software that companies can resell to businesses that need their services. And this is the video. A lot of text, you know, animated icons and things like that. Threw some 3D in there. But I sold this video for $3,500, and then they liked it so much, and they sell a lot more than just this. So I ended up selling $32,000 of more animation. It would have been $35,000, but I gave them a discount. So now they want 10 more of these videos. I sold them for $3,500 a piece, since it's a minute long, $3,500 per minute, and now they want 10 more, and that project's going to hold me over for probably a few months. I can sell more projects while I work on it because it's not really difficult. This style is pretty easy. It's a lot of just animated text. But I did throw in some like fun little 3D stuff like this box truck. Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Make whatever you want. I mean, this is copying like a lot of other videos that have already been done. I mean, what I do, like I said, the first thing I do when I'm making an animation for a client is I find videos that are similar. So, you know, you want to talk about making an animation or copying somebody else's animation. I mean, like, even look at these characters in this video. So, you know, I really love this style of animation. I think it's so fun. I think kids animation is really fun to animate, and you can see, like, even the stuff I'm working on that's my personal project, you know, are based on other people's, you know, style. So, you know, I think it's okay to, you know, if it's for practice, you know, feel free. No one's stopping you, and that's how you learn, man. Like, just go for it. Okay, so I'm going to continue working on this project, but if you have any other questions, you know, feel free to let me know. I'll see if I can answer them for you.
Let's just go about.
Yeah, sure thing. I mean, you know, I'll continue to be doing these live sessions as I work on my personal project. So, you know, I don't mind, you know, jumping off and answering questions about other things. Yeah, this project is just so that I can, you know, get a bit better at character animation because I really want to work on more kid stuff. But you know, if you think of something and you want it to be answered, feel free to just, you know, ask in the chat, and I would be happy to answer. No problem at all. I don't recommend using unlicensed Adobe products because I feel like, you know, like personally, I'm a business owner, and if I was using cracked versions of Adobe, that would be, you know, pretty unethical considering I can pay for it. You know, I think it would be okay for practice purposes, but, you know, if you sell one project, you can pay for, you know, at least a month, and using that month get more work. You know, it's an investment. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying or using a cracked version of Adobe products or any products. It's like, you know, it's a service, so you should pay for it if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna make money on it. But if it's for learning purposes, I mean, nobody's stopping you. All right. That's a good call. I think that's the way to do it. I made a video when I was about 17 years old, and it was a stop motion video I made for fun, and I thought it was so fun that I decided to get into doing this for a living. And you know, I started as a videographer, video, you know, maker, and you know, any chance I could get as I was editing videos for clients, specifically I worked for my mom's company, I was doing the videos for her company, but any chance I could get, I would, you know, try to add some kind of motion graphics, and that led to me eventually, you know, moving on to doing freelance work, and I'm 29. So I've been doing this since I was about 17 years old. And, you know, I still have a lot to learn. I'm not, you know, I'm not the best at doing this, but yeah, that's how I got into it. Is I just made a video when I was a kid, and I thought it was super fun, and realized, you know, after working for my mom's company for a while doing video editing and, you know, filming, that people would pay me to do, you know, animated videos. And the first animation I made was, you know, it was really bad. I think I still have it on my profile somewhere. But you see, I've done 142 videos, at least that I have displayed here. I've probably done a lot more. Let's see. Yeah, this was the first video that I did. The first motion graphic video. You can see how bad it is. I mean,
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
beautiful. So yeah, this is the first video that I did, Foley animation for my mom's company. That was back in 2012, so that was 10 years ago. And then I just continued to, I went to film school for a bit, but then I dropped out. And as I continued to make animations for, I appreciate that. As I continued to make animations for my mom's company, I started reaching out and, you know, I think this was the first video that I sold to, I used to do videography instead of just animation, and ended up selling this project, and this was the logo animation I did for them, but it was, other than that, it was all video. Anyway, I actually gotta go, so I'm gonna go now. Bye-bye.